Hi everyone! Today I will share with you an amazing story that I wrote called Field and Dreams, which is inspired on my high school students. So let's start!
Field and Dreams. This story is dedicated to my high school students. Never stop dreaming. I was the average guy, neither outstanding nor terribly flat. I was not the tallest, nor the shortest. If my feet were good for soccer, they were not good for dancing. I dreamed of being an architect, president, soccer player, even a journalist. But nothing was clear. I was open to what happened, or at least it was what that teenage mind told me. I was 17 years old. I was about to graduate and I was passionate about soccer. I grew up in a rural settlement in the middle of the Andes Mountains, which had more talent and fervor than state investment. I am aware that places like this are the perfect breeding ground for that sport, as simple and direct, as complex and skilled, in which a monumental stadium could be built with just 4 stones and a bridged ball. In those times, my daily routine was going to school, playing with my friends, and, of course, helping my parents. It was not exactly what I liked, but they were the ones who helped me to recover the balls when they landed in the farms where people defended their guavas with shotguns. I don't remember my classmates very well, but I do remember my friends. One of them was Louis, thin, dark-skinned, and tall. He was kind of slow to run, but perfect to be a goalkeeper. The other one was Jaime, who came from the rural settlement next to mine. He was quiet, quite calm, but bright-eyed, an ideal midfielder, and I was a forward, of course. I was not the team captain, but I was close to become it. George, the team captain, was an annoying boy. He was the son of the owner of the coffee plantations. He had the ball, and he knew how to play, so it was a direct pass to be the team captain. When choosing his team, he always chose me last, despite being the most talented boy. But when he enlisted me, no one else could be in front next to the captain. I was the one with the stellar plays, the dazzling passes, and the impossible feints. Everything else was a story. My teammates and I formed the direct line to the glory of the one who scores the goal. That is George, our team captain. The days passed normally in our school. One day we were in history class. On the blackboard the words "The 100 Years' War" were written. A sleepy and damp climate invaded the walls and the windows. Outside, only the vegetation accompanied the boring lesson. I don't remember what exactly that word was, or why it was so important to our country. All words seemed the same to me. I didn't think much about that. On my father's radio, I had heard about many words starting every day, always with the same result. At last the bell rang. My crude reflections gave way to anxiety. I took out my backpack. My friends came after me. We were already arriving at the field when I heard from the next classroom, "Martinez, championship? Obviously it's a piece of cake," I answered. I was afraid, I must confess it. My talent had the extraordinary ability to evaporate when I needed it the most. In the grandstands was a reason where I needed in that moment, a reason that made me blush. She was laughing with her friends at me, and particularly that day she became interested in a sport match that she said she didn't like, casual or casual. The stage was set, each one to his position. I was the antagonist again, forward next to George. He had this natural charm that earned him glances and cheers from the crowd, and certainly of that girl who was always laughing at my expositions and made me blush at every chance encounter. I looked at him with mistrust. The match started. Our opponents were experienced players. Each team had its strengths. The one of my team was me, of course. On the field, there was no more expert player than me, more agile, more ready for victory. I flew in my uniform shoes like a gazelle on the plain. I evaded like a hyena on the hunt. My technique was incomparable. I already had the goal area in front of me. I was unstoppable. I knew how to curve the ball in such a way that the goalkeeper could not foresee where it would go. I heard a voice beside me, but I left behind with my celestial speed. I pointed, I danced the instep, I stretched my leg, and I gave a kick worthy of the idols of world football. Pelé, Ronaldinho, Zidane saw me and celebrated me. No sooner said than done. It was a monumental goal. I looked for my friends. I wanted to celebrate, to show them the terrible injustice they did by preventing me from being the team captain. The first one I saw was Jaime. He had a strange expression on his face. He probably didn't expect it. "I told you I was going to score that goal, ha ha ha." "No man, did you forget the sides had changed?" he answered. Everyone laughed at me. My moment didn't happen, or it did, but not as I expected. My team looked at me with anger. We were the mockery. From the grandstands, we heard a high-pitched laughter. They were, of course, laughing and celebrating with the opposing team. My friends said it didn't matter, but it was just a game. I could see disappointment on their faces. It bothered them that I went alone. I didn't pay attention to the game. I wanted to shine, nothing else, or at least that was what they said to me. A couple of days passed after that. I didn't play for a while. I didn't want to ask to be chosen, neither for my own dignity nor for putting my friends in an awkward situation. My parents probably noticed that I was downcast. They no longer heard a ball bouncing on the backyard of the house, and they didn't receive complaints from my teachers for breaking windows at school or not going to class. My father was sometimes hired to collect coffee at George's father's plantation. the father of the captain of my team. That day, my father saw me sat, looking at a banana tree for some minutes, so he decided to take me with him. What happened? Did your girlfriend leave you? He asked me. I don't have a girlfriend, Dad, but if you mean soccer, yes, it left me. Tell me. While we were collecting coffee, I told him what happened, the selfishness of which my classmates accused me, my envy towards Jorge, the group of girls who were laughing at me, my lack of direction, everything. It was getting dark. It was warm and cozy inside the crop foliage. The grasshoppers perched on the grass, and the sun was beginning to hide under the mountains. He listened to me patiently. He didn't judge me or interrupt me until I finished the story. Then he looked at me and said, Listen, son, people can only live together if they help each other. That is the meaning of society. If your classmate is doing well, rejoice. Everyone lives according to their nature. Yours cannot be selfishness or the desire to shine to gain the attention of others. Neither those girls or your friends, nor your own ego can overshadow your will. That is being a better person. Understand that we are all part of the same world and enjoy being alive. Someday you will understand me. This reflection came to me at the right time. It dispelled the doubts that surrounded me and made me look at my father as I hadn't done before. From then on, I tried to follow that advice. At school, I spoke to my teammates and they understood. Jorge agreed to take turns with me as team captains. That group of girls just wanted to talk to us, and I learned to work as a team and value people. Things improved. That time, that anecdote, that existential crisis maybe happened to show me what I would do for the rest of my life, or that is what I want to believe. Anyway, now I am what I always wanted to be, a teacher and a coach in my old school. Thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed my story. Bye bye.